Daryl, tell me who your influences musically are.
I have many different influences, but I would say the beginning influences I had was, again, John Paul Jones, Geddy Lee, and Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, Rush, and Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
Those were my earliest influences as a bassist. Now it's more vast than that. They are still influences, but I gravitate more to, I guess, bass players that really stretch the boundaries. He became a friend of mine over a few years, but Michael Manring,
Okay.
incredible bass player. He does things on a bass I've never seen anybody else do in real-time live shows. He is the guy that influenced me more than anything to do solo shows.
Okay.
That guy. He didn't think it was possible either that people would find bass that interesting as a solo instrument.
You know, and I find it interesting doing interviews like this, and it's only a few that I've done. I've played interviewing, but everybody has a solo person that influences them to play solo. You can trace it back to one person. Almost everyone that sat right there has traced it back to one person on why they wanted to be a solo artist.
Yeah.
Also, dealing with bandmates kind of sucks unless you are all like left, right brain, like you said. He was the other half of me. Like, that's when bands can last a long period of time. Otherwise, solo's the way to go. I mean, you don't have to worry about anybody. You choose the music. You choose how fast you play, how slow you play, the swagger from which you play it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I back when this was, I think, early 90s or late 90s actually, a friend of mine, incredible furniture maker,
Okay.
but he makes they're like works of art type of furniture. So much so is they did an artist open at this art gallery for him
Showcasing his furniture.
down by Newburyport.
Okay. Well, yeah, it has to be
showca-
down there. Yeah.
Showcasing his furniture, and he says, "I want something unique for the music that's going to be. Could you play for me?" I'm like, "What do you mean, me play?" He says, "Well, I hear you play all that stuff just on bass." Like, he didn't know really what to call it. Bass music is, I
Yep.
think, what he called it. And I'm like, "Really? You want me to play that?" And now this is a time I had that Ken Smith bass that I spoke about.
Yep.
It was tuned, standard tuned, so A440.
Yep.
Some lighter strings on it, but I'm like, I guess. So, like, and again, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I had already started paying attention to Michael Manring and reading articles about him. And I'm like, well, if he's doing it, I'm nowhere as the bass player he is. But if he's doing it and people are receptive to it, and this is my buddy, so who cares? He's asking me to do it.
Right.
So I went and did it. And at the time, the woman I was married to, at one point during the show, she kind of kicks me. She says, "Look up." And I looked up, and the whole room where I was playing was full of people watching me. And I'm like,
No one's looking at the furniture.
I got that nervous feeling again. And and people loved it. Like, the reception of it, it totally gave me all the fuel in the gas tank to see where this could take me.
Well, it is so unique to
Yeah.
hear stuff that you normally hear other people doing acoustically.
Right.
They'll like make a bass line on the acoustic, hit the loop pedal, then they do a little rhythm part on the acoustic or
Right.
electric, but it's never making all the other instruments off of a bass line. It's so
Exactly.
unique. It's so unique. I'm actually glad I bumped into you. He's looking for a band. Like, why is he looking to play? I just want to play something different, like you, because you do a lot of the cover stuff, and I'm like, well,
Right.
here's some different stuff, and you're like, that's definitely different. I could get with some of that. We just haven't been able to connect. We maybe
We will.
maybe we get some time.
We
I'll
will.
throw a tune at you, not on camera. We'll do that off camera. Do something else. I was also thinking maybe, and this is the first time I've asked one of the guests, so I've had a full band of people I've had a drummer. I've had a bass player. 2 guitar players, acoustic and like a percussive rhythm section. And I sing and play guitar, and I was on the show. Thought if I could get everybody together for one closed curtain session,
Right.
it'd take us a half an hour, pick a song. It could be a cover, it could be an original, anything.
Right.
We just put down a 4 or 5 minute jam.
Yeah.
I bet that would be a great video. And
That'd be awesome.
It would go far.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Aaron Bilodeau, he does podcasts, music podcasts. You should have him on the show, actually. And when he found out I was coming on this, he says, make sure you send me that video. He had me on his. But great bass player, songwriter as well, does everything just on bass and looping.
And I'll take comedians. We'll take anybody that, if you're a performer of any kind that can influence someone in a performance on stage to get over a plateau, or just to be motivated, or even to just start. Hey, you know what I saw once? I saw a video on YouTube. There was that idiot, what was his name? Oh, Sammy B. He had that guy that he forgot to introduce at the beginning. Oh yeah, Daryl Barnes. And he plays like it's a guitar, like it's a piano, like it's a set of drums. He hasn't even barely showcased anything yet that I've seen anyway. He's just showing you stuff that, these are the base roots to things that can envelop your playing to be as amazing as I'm trying to build them up to be. You are an amazing player. I mean, and some people don't want to hear that a bunch, but I won't say it anymore because I know it can be uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when I hear it about, hey, you're awesome. That was so awesome. You're awesome. That was so... I get it. I'm awesome. Can we talk about the fish that's on the plate over here? I mean, come on. Do you have a favorite band or a artist of some kind?
Well, whenever that ever comes up, I always say Led Zeppelin. They're like
covers all
they
the
did
genres.
A lot for me. Jimmy Page, master of riffs. A lot of people say he's a sloppy player. That's just part of his character.
Yeah.
Try to mimic his sloppiness.
Yeah, try to mimic some of the stuff he does. Right. I'm like, how is he AC, ACC, AC, ACC, back and forth on like Black Dog, I think I was trying to learn.
Yeah.
Ridiculous stuff he does out.
But, like guys like Michael Manring, he's just been incredible as far as, he's an incredible human being. But
helps.
He had taken lessons with Jaco Pastorius.
Okay.
He's very accomplished, played on thousands and thousands of albums and songs, and he does these solo shows, and he's so personable at these solo shows. He'll come over and sit with you, and like, this is a living legend. He's a monster. And
it's cool when those monsters and living legends are just so down to earth.
He's such a gentleman.
Yep.
He really is. And I've met, and look up to like many artists. Victor Wooten, I hung out with a couple of times at a couple of his shows, where a friend of mine's son owned the venue up in Vermont, and we could go early, hang out with all the Wooten brothers, have dinner with them, and then after the show as well. And even when I posed the question to Victor, I'm like, I just, kind of curious, what do you think about Michael Manring? And he's like, he's not from this world. And for Victor to say something like that about, a fellow bassist.
Yeah.
This guy's something else. And he really is, if you take a look at his music, and have a listen. It's pretty amazing. Innovation-wise, what he's done on the bass.
Yes.
Innovatively. It's just, and he always has this premise that I've only scratched the surface. Like this, the bass is such a deeper, more emotional type of instrument that
you can touch sonically things that people didn't even know they could hear because of its literally the sonicness of the bass. Right. It goes right through your body more than any. You could turn up a guitar to 11, turn the bass on 4. You're gonna feel the bass through the guitar playing. That's all you can hear is guitar. Yeah. Any day of the week.
A friend that lived next door, she was deaf, and I said to her, I says, "Do you want to listen to some music?" And she thought I was being rude to her. She started crying, and she couldn't hear anything. Oh. And I knew that. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can help you. I can help you hear music. And she's like, how, whatever, through a translator, her
Yep.
son. I says, come in. And I had her wrap her arms around my cabinet, my bass cabinet. And then I started to play, and tears just started streaming down her face, like she was feeling the music. That's how, again, I'm getting goosebumps.
I just got goosebumps. That happened to me. That happened to me. A little girl, my oldest sister, worked with Big Sister, one of those Girls Inc. And there was a deaf child that she was transporting from A to B. She came by to see Grampy or whatever. He was staying at my house. And all of a sudden, the jam room door opens. And there's this little girl standing there with just this look of, I've never heard music before. And she instantly turned at the bass player because that's where the most sound she could feel coming through. Buddy Hackett, in case you're watching. She just, same thing, like tears down her face. She could hear music, and she was signing all kinds of stuff to my older sister, who was, trying to translate as fast as her hands were going. And I was like, come by anytime, we'll play music, and you can listen to music. It's amazing what you can do with just a tiny little note and someone who's never heard, which is weird to think anyone has never heard a note of music in their life. But if you're deaf, you're not hearing anything.
Right.
You can see.
You can feel it.
You can taste. I don't know, can you taste the bass? What's that taste like? A little salty, I think.
From all the sweat.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite instrumentalist? We've kind of already touched that a few times.
Definitely.
Bass-wise.
Bass-wise, Michael Manring.
Is there a...
He's probably my top. I mean, I love Jaco Pastorius. I like Victor Wooten, Brian Bromberg.
Is there anyone on, I'd say top 40s? Is there anyone in the charts right now that only does instrumental music with no vocals?
Probably, I don't think top 40.
Well...
But I would say Al Di Meola.
Okay. Right.
I met him at his last show down in Boston, and he's pretty amazing.
Most instrumentalists, they're just like, and Bill. It just blows your... the Blue Man Group, they're instrumentalists, and they will blow your mind if you see them live. Even I've seen some videos. I saw them on Tiny Desk. They blew my mind. They weren't even on a stage. They were behind this tiny little desk doing... They didn't have one real instrument. I think they had a set of keyboards, but everything else was made instrument, wacky things, and they played full-on songs from the beginning to the end. Don't know what the songs were called because they were Blue Man Group songs. So they had the audience going, and no one got sprayed with blue paint though, because that would ruin the Tiny. You ever seen the Tiny Desk?
Yeah, not the Tiny Desk, but I've been to Blue Man Group a few times.
Tiny Desk concert. It's on.
I didn't even know they had one for Blue Man.
They have them for thousands of people. They have a contest too. You enter the contest, you get a trip to Washington, an album recorded, mentors, all kinds of stuff.
Didn't even realize that.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard this year that they're doing it, but it was a big turnout last year. They had over 7,000 entries. I was one. I didn't make top anything. I don't think I even got to the first round. They were just like, yeah, next. Next.
But yeah, I would say innovationally, Michael Manring is just off the charts. That's all I have to say. Look up Michael Manring.
Yes.
He's on YouTube.
Hey, I bet he is. How do you keep your chops up? You got a practice regimen that you...
I don't necessarily... Well, I play a ton of gigs.
Something I hear people answer a lot.
Yeah.
I was playing shows. That's how I practice.
No, I play a lot of gigs, but it's not necessarily my original music all the time. So I will sit just to prepare for this podcast. I wanted to be succinct in a couple of tunes that I wanted to pick, and that was educational. And
I appreciate that.
And kind of having some understanding, when you stumble or when you learn about a new idea, like playing with harmonics. I wrote a song called Time back in, I think, the 90s, when, I was first starting to write kind of my own pieces musically, and I wanted to start using, or I thought the sound of harmonics was kind of cool. And so I wrote this piece called Time that utilizes notes and harmonics together. And
So you mentioned harmonic. I mean, most people know what a harmonic is. Obviously, I do. You do. But you also said you were playing C sharp harmonic in a mode or a
minor,
but it was harmonic.
harmonic,
So
minor.
the harmonic is what note exactly that is harmonizes with the C sharp? I guess is my question.
It's basically C. So
And the minor would just be adding the minor note into your scale.
that, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
That explained it for me. It might not for you, but I'm sure there are plenty of videos on YouTube. You can look something like that up and get into depth. We're not a teaching platform here yet.
Right.
Yet. Maybe we will.
But that's just to cover the question you had. More what I was talking about is
Harmonics. Right?
harmonics.
That's what I thought we were talking about. But
Right.
you said the harmonic minor. That's not what.
No.
Okay.
So that's like part of time.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is a really cool.
And that's where I really work on my chops is like when I'm sitting home, and unless I have songs to learn for a band, I do a lot of fill-in work too for bands. So unless I have songs to learn, basically I'm sitting working on my own stuff all the time, and that could be like working out different passages, an idea that I had previously or stumbled upon, maybe at a gig when I was just like warming up before a show, and I'm like, oh, I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
And that would sound good on my hybrid, or I have other basses
How I remember stuff.
strung differently.
recording.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, I got it real quick.
And then I'll sit down at home and kind of work out those pieces and go from there.
We used to call the Tascam the shoebox.
Yeah.
Is it all? It's just this little, it's
Yeah.
actually over there now. I can see it in my vision, but I have tape after tape after tape, and I won't know if it's a 4-track or an actual like RCA mini recorder that you could hit to, put a full-size cassette in it, hit the play and record button. Which, I mean, this recorder has pretty much the same. It's record play button to get the recording going. It's all the same. Just there's no tape. It's being shot right to
Digital.
SD card. Right.
Right.
Yeah, the shoebox brings back so many memories, and the fact that I still have tapes that people are like, what's that box over there? That box is full of tapes. What kind of tapes? Stuff you don't want to hear. Like, it's just in case I become a Beatle. There'll be all that stuff someone can have and go through. I have
Right.
SD cards for years that have just stuff on them. So we know you play originals and you play out all the time. Could you kind of explain the process of how you write a tune? Like you said, you remember a snippet from before, and you sit down, you're like, all right, I'm going to write this song. What do you normally start with? How do you go about? Is it always just a spur of the moment thing, or like you pick it up all the time?
In all honesty, a lot of times I play with a lot of emotions. So like something could spark an emotion in me. And a perfect example, a friend of mine's mom was dying of cancer, and I went and had a really lovely lunch with her and my friend, and talking with her, it affected me in a way where I didn't know what I was going to write, but I knew when I got home I had to get a bass in my hands. I just knew instinctively, like, I have to channel these emotions that were just kind of like thrown up onto me through this vehicle. So as soon as I got home, I wrote this song for her. And then, I have many layers.
Oh yeah, I hear where you're heading. Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then I had a nice melodic solo going through it too. So that's one of the songs that I play out.
So emotion comes through you. You put it down on the bass.
Totally. My
That's-
sister, she was given no chance of survival with breast cancer, stage 4, and called me the day she found out. And I says, then I guess you're going to die if you're going to believe them. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, doctors are telling me they're just going to do whatever they are going to do to prolong my life. And I says, again, if you want to believe that, then, you know, you're going to die. I says, or you can try to think about it differently.
Yeah,
You
mindset.
remember fantastic?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like my religion, fantastic.
Gotcha.
So I feel words are powerful. You speak it enough, you become it,
Yeah,
and you can, you know, be consumed by it.
mind over matter.
So she started to do that, and she got a mastectomy. She went in to have results of a test done, and she walks in to the doctor's office, and the doctor, she's crying. And my sister's like, well, I guess the news, guess fantastic didn't do anything for me. So, and the doctor's like, quite contrary, I've done thousands and thousands of cancer patients, and only 2 as bad as you came out cancer-free, and you're the second one. And that was like 20 years ago, and
Wow.
she's still with us,
That's amazing.
completely cancer-free.
Wow.
So again, as soon as we're both crying on the phone, as soon as I put the phone down, I grabbed my bass and I wrote the song Dee Dee for her. Her name's Darlene, but her nickname's Dee. So, wrote this song. I didn't know, again, have any preconceived notion whatsoever of what I was going to write. I just knew I had to get an instrument in my hand, and it was like it just flowed right through me. I wrote the entire piece within like 7 or 8 minutes, and it's a very
Those are the
complicated piece.
best pieces, I find.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I just wrote this. You've been sitting there for 3 minutes. Yeah, and I can play it fluently in, you know, like 4 different keys if you want me to.
Right. So I play that at my shows too, and I, you know, some of the songs that I write must resonate with people, you know, because they, you know, for one, they've never seen anything like it.
That
Right.
resonates.
It's only produced here,
Yep.
you know, so it's different, unique, you know, I feel.
Is this
And-
your gigging
That's
pedal?
it. That's it.
What do you got here?
I've got
delay.
my RC3 looper station. It's just a small stomp box. Then I have a bass chorus, and that allows to fatten up the chords.
Yep, both Boss pedals.
Yep. And then I have that flashback TC electronic is basically a delay.
Yep.
Gives me some different options
Yeah,
for delay.
some ambience in the background there.
Right. And then I do have a distortion pedal when I want to, you know.
Oh yeah, it does say
Hendrix-
overdrive on
Hendrix
that thing.
out.
Yeah, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a guitar pedal board, pretty much that. I think I have same amount of pedals, very similar. I have a chorus, I have a delay. I don't have a looper on it. I have a wah instead, and one overdrive pedal, and that's just over in my acoustic room. I sit down. Why do you have an electric in your acoustic room? Well, because sometimes you're on the acoustic and you're like, that would sound so cool with a little overdrive.
Right.
You got to put the acoustic down and grab I don't have to come all the way over to the studio to plug
Right.
in, you know? You
Right.
want to be able to just go. Your mind's working. I see you in your
Right.
videos at your station.
Right.
You know, I see you multiple stations, by the way, but you're just in your zone and you're just like, and you can see you in the groove. You got to watch some of these guys' videos. It's really good stuff. If you've never seen someone play a full song bass-wise, you will, or if you're watching this video, you've probably already seen his closed curtain session, because I air those first. Gives them the, hey, all right, maybe I do want to sit down. Or it goes, that guy sucks, I ain't watching his interview.
I'm sure I get some of that too.
Yep, I get it all the time.
Yeah.
So what advice could you give to a younger player or an older player, any player, who may be plateauing, to help them motivate past? I mean, you kind of mentioned a bunch of different things, but I'm going to ask you again. What would you tell them?
If you're a bass player, take a string off from your bass and play with 3 strings. The same songs that you always been doing. And that way you'll learn different ways to play that same song without relying on the string you took off.
And I recommend
And-
doing the hardest one first, right? Well, you think that?
I would
The root
change
note
them
string?
up all the time.
Yeah.
I'd take the E string off, play with ADG. That's it.
Do you recommend
the
doing
D
that
off.
first?
You could, yeah. But what it does, it just makes you think differently about what you're playing on your fretboard. So I usually use this string for this and that note during the song. Where is that on my neck where I'm not going to miss
Yep.
the note?
It makes you look for it.
Makes you look for it
Yep.
and start stretching your mind. And then by chance, more than likely, you're going to stumble on something new.
I'm going to be using that. And I'm not a younger player. I'm an old ass bastard. I'm
And
gonna use
I
that.
say that wholeheartedly because back years ago, when I was a fairly new player, I would occasionally break a string live on stage
On a bass.
on a bass
He's playing guitar strings, folks. That's what I could tell.
for this, but a regular bass.
Regular
I
bass.
play regular bass, and sometimes they wear out, or you just pluck them too hard and you break a string. And you know what? It's the worst feeling in the world, especially for a bass player and a guitarist, to need to finish the song the best you can. And I found I was like a fish out of water without that string, and it got me thinking, wait a minute, there's other same notes on the other strings, exactly the same. Tonally, they'll be a little different, you know, but I won't miss a note
Yep.
if
Inverted
I can
chords.
do that
Yeah.
on the fly. So practice it.
See, we were talking about this on another interview, I think Justin's, where I want to do a video on how long it actually takes to change a string while you're playing a song. But where he just said is, don't worry about changing the string.
No,
Finish the damn song.
the job at hand.
That's right. So all of us amateurs that are thinking, what am I going to do about a broken string? What am I going to do? He's flipping his mind going, I'm just going to have more fun because I have fun challenging myself. So now I'm challenged to only use these 3 strings. Oh, shit. Now I only have 2. I bet you work your way right through it. Finish
yeah.
the song.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Finish
And
the
once
song.
once I started to do that, and I would practice it. Just be at home when you're changing your strings on your instrument, leave one off and sit down and play a bunch of tunes that you already know and find all the notes that you would normally play on that one string on the other strings.
Great advice.
And make it sound as if you had all 4 strings, 5 or 6 strings on there.
Such good advice. Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it just expands the way you think about your fretboard. That's all, and might create some more ideas for you. You know, like I play 4, 5, or 6 string basses, and I can flip between all of them on a dime. Effortlessly. I don't even have to think about it. First of all, because I could just transpose back and forth, where a lot of people have difficulties doing that, and it's simply because they don't know their fretboard as well. That's it. It's fretboard
I mean,
knowledge.
if you want to play good, learn what you don't walk around in shoes untied, do you? You learn how to tie them so they don't fall off your. Well, there's some people that walk around in flip flops still, but when they made the
flip-flops.
Uggs and the Crocs, I was like, there
Yeah.
goes society. Next, they're gonna be wearing sweatpants all the time. Oh wait, they all do now.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't want to correct you.
It was the effect for the camera. I think we're on this one. Do you play out regularly, and where can we see or hear you?
I play out quite often. In January, I think I had 23 or 4 dates, playing duo, trio, mainly. In my band, I have a D-tastic duo with me and this guy Dusty that I play with, and then together we have Hat Trick with the drummer Dan that we play with, and we're playing all the Rev casinos out there, Renegades Pub Londonderry over in Londonderry every Wednesday night. We have a gig there. Rumors over in Newmarket, which is they're a bowling alley in
Okay.
town there,
I think I remember that
but
place.
with a
Yeah.
club hooked to it so that you can go in, play billiards or shoot darts and listen to music. So Dusty and I, we do that every other Thursday as a duo, and then once a month as a trio with Dan. And we play all over. We just played last night in Brunswick, Maine. So we're all over Maine, New Hampshire, Mass area. Just go friend me on Facebook if you want, and I post all our gigs well in advance so you can plan accordingly if you want to come on.
Excellent.
And I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm gonna have one of these producers gotta fix this because this is not working out for me. What's the most amount of people that you have played for?
I was hired to do through this production company. We would back up Vegas impersonators, and they were top, like.
Well, yeah, if you're playing Vegas, they're gonna look like Elvis while you're walking in.
Wow,
they never look like
the
Elvis.
Rod Stewart impersonator that we backed for was hired by Rod Stewart and his wife because they were told he's the most authentic you, and like this guy was. They were all awesome that we did, but we did. I want to believe it was the Blues Brothers, the Alabama Blues Brothers. Which is actually two brothers. They played the White House every year, and they were unbelievable. Like they would be brought in by police car to the stage. Like it was all outside.
Yep.
But we had 30,000 plus people in some of those shows, and what was awesome. And I didn't even know that this was going to happen, but their horn section was the Mighty Boss Tones. So it's quite something to be like on stage playing with the Mighty Boss Tones and these Jake and Elwood Blues Brothers playing all that great music.
Wow.
Pretty
awesome.
Amazing experience.
That is awesome.
Doing that. Extremely hard, because you are learning lots of music like the John Lennon and the Roy Orbison impersonators. These people are like the top of the top pros from Vegas. In Vegas, they only do like 6 to 8 month contracts. Then they have a few months off or a couple months off to travel. So this guy, he had a band at the four corners of the U.S. for them to do mini tours. So in their off time, they took whatever time off they wanted, but then for a couple weeks, they'd go on the road hitting the four corners, doing shows.
Awesome. Awesome. Other than playing for me a little later on the closed curtain sessions, what's the least amount of people you've played in front of?
The bartender.
Damn bartender gets all the fun, folks. All of it.
And the thing is, you look at it, I see this a lot with people, musicians. Oh, it was a bummer gig. We just played to the bartender or a waitress or something. What you got to understand is it's an opportunity for you to have your instrument or that microphone in your hand. In life, you don't get a lot of those opportunities, and if you're playing a place that's paying you money to play that place, you're a professional, and you got to treat that as such, even though it is technically a paid rehearsal.
Don't drink, even though they give you a tab. Don't smoke. Don't do blow in the back parking lot. Don't hang out with the hooker in the back alleyway. Stay professional. You'll go further, faster, more frequently if you just followed. And those I didn't even, all on one hand, I gave you all those rules to look professional. Simple things.
But I will say a great thing to do is never refuse somebody buying you a drink.
You don't have to drink it.
Right, but it's another ring for the bar you're playing for. And it's your job to try to make that bar as much money as possible.
That's what he meant by ring.
To give you another date.
That's right. Such good information. I'm glad I had you come by. So glad.
I'm glad you're not
40 emails we went back and forth. Come on, man. I swear I'll be professional as an amateur can be. He was like, all right, I guess I just pitied you into coming. You just mentioned, I don't know how you're going to find something like this, but what's your most memorable show out of all these great shows that you've been able to play? What's the most memorable one that really sticks out in your mind?
I would definitely say good or bad would be the Stage Fright show.
I kind of thought that might be where you would be.
I mean,
you learned a lot.
There was a typical amount of people there. It was Halloween, at a lodge, but it taught me a tremendous amount about myself, and persevering, pushing through it, not giving up. Think about how many people in my shoes at that moment would have just
thrown up,
which I pretty much did.
Yeah.
But
was that the brown note?
Did not do the gig, or couldn't come out of that hotel room because they were in such fear. I pushed myself to do that.
I'm surprised that none of these other guys in your band, I mean, maybe they didn't want to pressure you anymore, but they had to have seen that you were scared to death.
Again, because of what happened with not knowing my notes, and then in a few days
they thought you were
learned them
fooling
all.
around.
They thought like I was just this terrible joker, and
those are terrible jokes.
They were pissed at me.
Wow!
But it wasn't a joke at all.
Stage
That's
fright's
definitely super memorable. And then I always say my next gig is my most memorable.
Yeah,
because
we're gonna make the memories.
I get to gig.
That's right.
I get to play in front of fantastic people and have a good time and play my instrument. And that to me is, always a memory waiting to happen.
Yeah, one of the best answers yet to that. That is awesome. You're killing it over here, buddy, and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I don't know why the producer didn't number these questions. He numbered the first one.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, yeah, number 1, number 2, number 3. We're on like 19, and I don't know. So we've already had the biggest malfunction, no? I mean, you haven't had anything worse than that?
No, not really.
The question is, what's the biggest malfunction and disaster, and how did you overcome and manage to work your way through it? But just doing it.
Right.
That's how he did it.
Yeah.
He just did it.
I thank God. One of the things that I will say is having decent equipment. I'm always prepared.
Parents to spend the money, kids.
Well, I'm always prepared with my stage rig, and I always have a backup of something that something.
Bass you can DI right in.
Right. Always have 2 basses with you, or 2 guitars, or whatever.
2 vocalists.
2 sets of drumsticks.
Yeah.
At least.
Not just 2 sets.
Right. Those will alleviate a lot of the problems. I mean, now, like if I'm playing a show, I don't really break them so much anymore, knock on wood. But if I were to break a string, I'd finish the set, or in between a song, if the guitarist is messing with a capo or something, or the singer's addressing the crowd with something, I'll quickly switch out to my spare bass. That alleviates that problem, and then change that string during a break. Amps, I always have my main rig, and I always have a backup with me. That's usually like a pod, like a small digital rig or something. Always just be as prepared as you can be, and there's no such thing as being over-prepared.
Can't have enough guitar cables.
I've gotten calls, no word of a lie, I've gotten calls saying, how quick can you get to this club? Because the bass player they had broke a string or whatever and didn't have any strings with him.
Hey, good for you, bad for him.
Right.
Yep. John, if you're out there, John, we're talking to you, buddy. You.
John was a good guy. He just was leaving the
John,
band.
thanks for taking the brunt of those jokes. We don't mean anything by it. We didn't give him your last name or your address down at the White House.
But you don't want to be that guy. Be prepared. Because the thing is, you might be thinking about it just, about yourself. You've got a stage of other musicians that you're responsible for. You are all responsible for each other. So you have to, if you're out making money, playing a gig, you have a responsibility to be able to do that.
Truer words have never been spoken in this theater, I'll tell you right now. Oh, that's not it. You don't read that one yet. What does music give to you? You've touched this many times.
Yeah, it's completely therapeutic to me. Music for me is the glue of who I am. I mean, I resonate with it all the time. I even, not even audibly, I feel it. So, I really think that it's helped me. It's, put it this way, music has never lied to me. It's never cheated on me. It's never let me down. It's always been my best friend, my comrade, so to speak. It's always been supportive, and it's always this thing that says, just when you think you have it figured out, I'm going to throw something at you to make you figure
By the
more
way,
out.
we're breaking this string tonight, and you're going to finish the song. Finish the song. John, finish the song. Well, the way you just described how music gives to you, do you feel that you give back as much to music as it gives to you?
I don't believe so, no.
Nobody does.
Music is so vast that no individual, I think, can harness, give back to that entity, whatever energy, whatever you want to call what music is in the universe. Not a singular person can give back to it, because I strongly feel we are vehicles where it travels through us,
yes,
not out of us to it.
Yes.
But it's still all connected.
This is what this question is designed to do.
Right.
That's a very good answer. I always feel that I do my damnedest to attempt to give it back as much as it gives to me.
Right.
But you can't even scratch the surface.
No.
I mean, I don't keep trying, because that's what's going to keep you
Pushing
doing new things. But
right.
the knowledge that you're never going to be able to give back as much as it gives to you is fine. Let it give to you. Use that as your vehicle. Become that inspiration to other people, other emotion. For sure. I feel anyway. Even though it's not even my question, it's your question.
You wrote it. It is your question.
I have this problem. I crave the performance. Do you
100%.
crave performing music, or do you just take it as it comes? Do you go out there and get them gigs, or do you just, if a gig calls, I'll take it?
No, I'm very assertive and aggressive in that fashion, where I'm always looking for an opportunity to perform. And, I have a pretty busy life, so with a day job and all that. And there's times where I'll commit to stuff that is, I don't even know really how to describe it, as to, I'll get a call. This has happened many times, but one specific time it had happened, I'd get a call Wednesday to perform Friday, and I'm like, yes, to take the gig without seeing the set list. And the singer guitarist sends me the set list, and there's 27 songs I got to learn for Friday to be gig ready. And I'm working my day gig. So I go home and I sit there for
And work
hours
is night
and
gig.
hours and hours on Wednesday night and Thursday night.
Most music should come to you fairly quickly. I mean, you do little notations. Hey, make sure you play the G here and the F sharp there.
Sometimes I do,
just
but
try
I
to
try
log
to
it in.
retrain it. I try to retain it all.
And
as
retrain,
much
because you've
as
probably played
possible.
those notes in that same order before.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's not a factorial.
I
of
might
52.
have like a song, like I'll just have, the name of the song and like G. So I know the key is G. So I
got
know,
one note, right?
I know all my notes in the
Yeah.
key of G.
Yeah.
So,
All right. All right.
so a lot of it is like kind of that, but still you've got different passages of a song, intros and verse, chorus, bridge, and maybe two choruses, coming out of a lead or something that you got to kind of retain and remember.
Yeah,
the,
if you don't play the
flow.
double chorus in lots of songs, it totally throws everybody off.
Right,
We were supposed to repeat the chorus here.
exactly.
Oh.
So, but, I didn't know really, after talking to some people, they're like, are you kidding me? You had to learn 27 songs? In 2 days?
And he's
I'm
like, yeah,
Yeah.
do that on my night job.
But they're like, we couldn't do that in weeks or whatever, to be gig ready.
Right. Gig
know,
ready is different than
that's
being able
different.
to play it.
Right.
Yeah, I
Totally.
can hack through it, or I can play it, and people are going to think that I wrote it.
Right.
That's how it looks when I see you play songs. I'm like, that guy wrote that song. Nope, that's a Hendrix tune.
Or this other, this just came into my mind kind of about this, is I was asked to do a musical. And, I don't fluently read,
Right.
sheet music. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
They hand him a piece of paper. It's got all the charts on it.
Right.
And he's like, oh, yeah, let me, can I make some notes to this? And they're like, sure. And he just writes one big G. across the whole page. I know this whole song. It's in G.
So a friend of mine that hooked me up with the writer of this musical, she took my whole score, many pages, right? And above each staff note, she wrote my note for the bass clef. And I'm like, all right, I should be able to get through this. So, and then the guy that wrote the play had everything, all the songs on keyboards done. So he made recordings of those and gave them to me. So between the two,
were they backing tracks playing during the show, or was there someone playing keys live?
it was a keyboardist live with pit musicians.
That's how I've ever seen a play.
Right.
They had full band.
So, and this was a big deal at SNUH or whatever there, the SNU Center or something. So, I'm thinking nothing about it. Like, I'm learning these extreme. I did play my 6th string, and I'm learning these, definitely not rock. It's very orchestrational type music on bass that I've never played in my life, first of all. And I'm getting a flash course in sight reading. So I'm reading all these notes on these pages, trying to flip them and not looking at my bass neck at all, because you're kind of half retaining the music to memory, but not really. You gotta, if I didn't have those pages with me, I'd be lost. So we did the first show, it was 2 shows. We did the first show and it went over great, and I had to dress in this,
Tux or whatever.
Yeah, tux, and it went over great. And then before we walk out the second night, the keyboardist that was in the pit, he was the main conductor or something. He and a buddy of mine that I got the guitar spot for, right before walking out to take our seat in the pit, they both come up to me, and I'm just standing there, and they're like, dude, what you did is unbelievable. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, none of us could do what you just did last night. And I'm like, what? They're like, if you don't even read sheet music, how are you even playing this stuff? And you're playing it. None of us could retain that. And these are Berkeley guys that live and breathe that type of stuff.
Wow.
And then I got a bit of that stage fright.
Oh, because now they're like, wait, I am good, and I have to be good again?
Well, they instilled in me that what I did was not normal. It's so astronomical. That I was able to do it.
Right.
When they really didn't think I'd be able to. And it just goes to show that in believing in yourself, that you're able to do something, you can conquer. Way more
Mind
than you
over matter.
think that you can.
Hell yeah. Great advice.
And that's one thing people will set themselves up to fail every time, is telling yourself you can't do it.
Using the word can't.
Right.
Shouldn't be in your vocabulary.
No.
I don't use, hey, we're going to find the easier way to do this.
Right.
I say, let's go find the cost-effective way to do this. Yeah. Because the cost-effective way always makes you money. The easier way, you're usually doing it twice. I'm sorry to say. If you try to take shortcuts around the fretboard, you're going to miss the fact that this is an A note and this is a B note.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
All right. So, but anyway, on those final little thoughts from our friend here, Daryl, Daryl Barnes, I appreciate you coming to the Amateur
Absolutely,
Theater.
yeah.
We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere because it is time for that fun little segment we all love and enjoy, This or That. I have my cue cards here because Mr. Jonathan didn't help me out on the monitor this time, which I'm kind of glad because we need numbers to know what question we're on, sir. So this is just a little fun thing. It really doesn't mean anything. All right? I'm planning on throwing you for a loop.
Yeah, because I don't really know the superheroes that well.
That's okay. He's obviously
I
watched
know
the
who
segment.
they are, but
This is just supposed to throw the people off because they're like, yeah, we're going to do some musical stuff. And I hit them with Batman or Superman,
I'd say Superman,
Wonder Woman or Catwoman,
Wonder Woman,
Joker or the Penguin,
Joker,
AC or DC power. Basically plugging in and no batteries.
right, AC,
Guitar or bass,
hybrid.
electric
Both.
or acoustic,
I just bought a killer acoustic that I've been using for a lot of gigs, which is nice.
sound like a piano, don't they?
It's really
Yeah,
nice.
Ivan
Stuart
Alvarez.
Spector made it. Number 8.
Ooh, he gets, somehow he has access to the low numbers here.
But I would say electric.
Okay.
That's what I mostly played my whole life.
Simon or Garfunkel,
Simon,
Paul or Oates,
Hall.
in Van Halen, Sammy or Dave.
I'd say Sammy.
Yeah, buddy, you know why? I could sit next to a Sammy, that's why. Hendrix or Clapton,
Hendrix.
Paul, George, Ringo, or Lennon. Everybody's got a
George.
favorite. Beatle, and
I would say
he is
George.
winning he's winning, just so you guys know. Willie or Stapleton? Willie Nelson. Yeah. Elton or Bowie?
Bowie.
Classical being orchestra, not classic, Justin. Classical or country?
I would probably say I really like country, but classical.
Okay. Classical or rock?
I would probably say classical.
Classical or pop?
Classical.
Classical or metal?
Classical.
Jeez, see, if classical is the first one, it pretty much covers all the rest of the genres because they're all in there, right?
They are all in there.
They're all in there.
I mean, I love rock and I love country and some pop. You know.
Yeah, if you don't like Prince, you have to get out.
Right. I saw him live. He was awesome.
I seen him play live on YouTube, but at least I looked, you know?
Yeah.
Sinatra or Martin?
Sinatra.
All right, now for some bass people here. Les Claypool or Cliff Burton?
Les Claypool.
Les Claypool or John Entwistle?
I hung out with John 2 months before he died. At that same club in
Okay.
Vermont. That
It's
was,
the bass player to The Who, for anyone who has no idea who we're talking
but
about.
I would say John Entwistle.
Okay. Entwistle or Tom Hamilton?
Entwistle.
Or Sting?
Probably Sting, because he's a great
He's
songwriter.
Sting. Hello.
Well, he plays bass, he writes songs, and he sings.
Melodies, melodic.
Right,
He does all
he's-
kinds of cool stuff.
Right.
As a bass player, this question infuses me with curiosity. Time or feel?
Feel.
Rhythm or blues?
Rhythm.
And the biggest question of all, folks, this or that?
That.
He doesn't even like this. My word, everybody there.
Because you already know what this is.
So we're going for that.
We'll go for that.
No one has that answer, though. Daryl, again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, Sammy.
Stay tuned for the next episode of The Amateur Theater. And be looking for Daryl's Closed Curtain Session, because it'll also be coming out. We'll see you real soon. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good life. And if you're not living, you're not laughing. And if you're not laughing, you certainly are not.
Living.
There it is. See you around, folks.